For many years, the concept of zombies, dead creatures with an insatiable appetite for human flesh, has captured the public's imagination. Despite the fact that zombies are a work of fiction, the concept that a specific fungus or toxins could potentially create zombie-like behavior in people has piqued the interest of medical researchers and given rise to a great deal of speculation. There is a curious connection between mushrooms and zombies, which blurs the barriers between reality and horror fiction. This connection is unsettling and interesting. One of the hypotheses that has received the greatest attention is the Cordyceps fungus, which belongs to the genus of parasitic fungi. These fungi infect insect hosts, causing them to change their behavior and ultimately causing them to die. This fungus has the power to influence its host's behavior, which it does by enticing the host to climb to a high vantage point before it begins to grow a fruiting body from the host's body. Because the fungus essentially transforms its host into a vehicle for its own reproduction, this horrific process has drawn parallels with the concept of zombies. This is due to the idea that zombies are mindless creatures with a single goal, much like how a fungus transforms its host. Apart from the well-known Cordyceps fungus, real-world fungi also influence animal behavior in fascinating ways. The fungus Massospora cicadina infects periodic cicadas, causing the male insects to engage in a peculiar sexual behavior where they attempt to mate with plants and inanimate objects instead of females. For the goal of its own reproduction, the fungus takes advantage of the cicada's behavior when they are mating to achieve its own reproduction goal. Before the fungus kills the houseflies and releases spores from the cadaver, it infects them with Entomophthora muscae, which causes them to move in a manner that is similar to that of zombies. Light sources attract the flies, causing them to move in a sluggish and disorganized manner. Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, also known as the zombie ant fungus, is a fungus that infects carpenter ants and has the ability to alter their behavior in a stunning way. The infected ants leave their colony and travel to a certain spot, which is typically the underside of a leaf or plant stem. Once they get to their destination, they use their jaws to grip down on something before they pass away. The fungus then grows from the ant's body, where it releases spores. In a similar manner, Pandora formicae is a fungus that targets formica ants and induces a behavior known as summit disease. This behavior occurs when sick ants ascend to the highest point they can reach before dying, which enables the fungus to effectively disseminate its spores. Empellomyces species, which are plant diseases, are responsible for infecting the powdery mildew fungus. Fungi also have the ability to influence other fungi. In order to protect the host plant from mildew infection, the Empellomyces fungus is responsible for the powdery mildew's development of aberrant structures and for preventing reproduction. These examples demonstrate the astonishing ability of diverse fungi to control behavior in ways that are beneficial to their reproduction and survival, often in ways that are alarmingly similar to zombies for the animal or plant hosts that they infect. Despite the fact that the idea of a global fungal network purposefully targeting humans with zombie illnesses is a horrifying and intriguing horror premise, it is exceedingly unlikely that such a network would actually exist in the real world. The fundamental laws of survival and reproduction drive all other species, but fungi lack a concerted effort to infect or control people. However, studying this hypothetical scenario from a scientific perspective is necessary to comprehend the challenges and improbabilities associated with such an event. The first thing to note is that in order for a fungal network to systematically target humans on a worldwide scale, it would require an extraordinary amount of cooperation and communication among fungi, which are generally isolated species. It is not possible for fungi to have a centralized nervous system or the ability to coordinate complicated strategies across vast distances and a variety of settings. To add insult to injury, the capability of fungus to influence human behavior in a manner that is analogous to the creation of zombies would call for a system that is highly specialized and has undergone significant evolution. There are some fungi that have the ability to change the behavior of insect hosts, but given the immense physiological and neurological differences that exist between people and insects, it is highly unlikely that a fungus would be able to create the complex methods to hijack human brain function and behavior. Additionally, humans have robust immune systems and advanced medical knowledge, which would likely detect and battle any widespread fungal infection before it could reach pandemic levels. This has the potential to prevent the disease from spreading. Antifungal drugs, quarantine procedures, and public health initiatives would contain and eliminate such a threat. In addition, it is essential to keep in mind that fungi, just like all other living species, are susceptible to the influence of natural selection and evolutionary pressures. A situation in which fungi collectively target humans would require a major evolutionary benefit, which is unlikely considering the possible hazards and hurdles associated with infecting a species that is considered to be extremely clever and adaptable, such as humans. Popular culture has explored the relationship between mushrooms and zombies in a variety of ways. A fungal pandemic has destroyed a post-apocalyptic world in the video game and television series The Last of Us, transforming humanity into hostile, mindless monsters reminiscent of zombies. With a combination of scientific realism and undertones of terror, the developers of the franchise drew inspiration from the Cordyceps fungus that actually exists in the world. In addition, films such as Mushroom Head and The Girl with All the Gifts have investigated the idea that fungi and toxins might cause humans to behave in a manner similar to that of zombies, but the degree of scientific correctness in these films varies. The public's interest in the spooky connection between mushrooms and the undead has developed as a result of the works of fiction that have contributed to this fixation. Despite the fact that the idea of a fungus or toxin-induced zombie outbreak in real life is still firmly entrenched in speculation and horror fiction, the intriguing behavior of particular fungi and their capacity to control their hosts have undoubtedly stimulated the imaginations of both scientists and storytellers. The connection between mushrooms and zombies serves as a powerful reminder of the deep and sometimes scary relationships that exist in the natural world, highlighting the blurred lines between reality and the world of the undead.